Nigerians, it is high time you give us some breathing space. You need to give us some breathing space. You have occupied the whole music industry. You have us on chokehold. What? We can't breathe. Someone may think the whole music industry is composed of Nigeria. Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Fireboy, Joe Boy, Mavins. But you are savage. Wahoo. We cannot breathe, my friend. Then there are these new artists who have come from nowhere, don't even understand. Chimanya Sake, Sei Vibes, Shali Pop. Call me Shali Pop. Please, I beg. Take it slow.
All right, everyone. Thank you all for joining me today. I am your man, CJ, and I'm excited that you guys are here today. I am excited to bring you this video because we've once again heard from another A-list celebrity, Michael Blackson, who right after the MTV VMA Awards that just took place not too long ago, was confronted and was interviewed regarding the future of Afrobeat. I want you to listen to what he said about the future of Afrobeat and the impact that Afrobeat currently has. And I'll be right back.
Hey Michael, you look nice. How are you doing?
I'm good, feeling like a Pink Panther.
I love it though. It looks great.
Pepto-Bismol, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Okay. I want to ask you, Rebo made history winning the first Afrobeats award for the VMAs. Do you think that more artists are going to shift to, starting to do the whole Afrobeats, kind of vibe?
Oh yeah, definitely. At least they're going to start collaborating. I mean, but the collaboration been going on for a long time. I mean, look, Chris Brown did stuff with, I think Davido, Drake did stuff, I think, with Davido. A lot of guys did a lot of stuff with Davido, Wizkid. I mean, everybody's collaborating, So it's been going on for a while. They just finally, they're getting they just do. Finally, we got an award that says Afrobeat, first time ever. So it's a start, and I think it's just the beginning of many great things to happen.
Of course. Last question. So you think right now, since we're seeing Afrobeats, you think more labels are going to start prioritizing that a little bit more in Latin music, maybe?
Definitely, man. Come on, Afrobeat. What I like best about it, and I think why the world loves Afrobeat so much, it's fun, it's loving, and I think it's slowly going to take over like hip hop, because it's just fun, good time. Enjoyment is love. If sometimes you don't understand what they're saying, but the beat's so nice, we have no choice but to groove to it.
Of course. All right. Well, thank you so much.
That's real talk. That is absolutely true. And I couldn't have agreed with him more. When he says that Afrobeat is fun, loving, the whole world loves it because it is fun. It is just cool. It is just something that everyone who doesn't like something that is cool and fun, right? This is why everyone loves it. It has a very easy thing to be part of. It is something that everyone all over the world can be part of. And we did that. Nigerians did that. That is our culture that we're putting out there. We're putting out our culture, and that's what people love about it. And you heard him also follow up with saying that hip hop, that it is going to overtake hip hop. And that is a fact. Now, I know people from the hip-hop community didn't like where he said that, but it is what it is. You can vex all you want. Because the reality of it is that hip-hop is giving us something great. Hip-hop just celebrated 50 years of existence. And hip-hop was cool. But it has also evolved into something that people just want to stay away from. Because of all the criminal activities that we see with hip-hop. And the glorification of all things that are just not things that we are proud of, or the Black community or African Americans should be proud of. And so when he says that Afrobeats is going to overtake hip hop, he was making that comparison because unlike hip hop, people love Afrobeat because it's fun, it's loving, it is inviting. And so it is not repelling anyone, it is pulling people close. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing when you have white people, Asians, learn our language, want to be part of the Black experience, want to be part of the Nigerian culture because of our music. It's a great thing when I see white people learning Yoruba language. It's a great thing. When I see them learning the Igbo language, that's a great thing. Want to be part of our world. That's a beautiful thing. And that's what we have done through our music, Afrobeats. And so when he says that Afrobeats will overtake hip hop, it is a fact. Because even I have said it in my videos that Afrobeats will enjoy a 70 plus years. I even went all the way to 100 years. And here's why I say that real quickly. Because when you think of Afrobeats compared to any other music genre, so I'll take hip hop for a second because he compared it with hip hop, is that Afrobeat was birthed out of culture. And I've said this many times. It was birthed out of the culture of the people. The Nigerian culture, which has existed for 1,000 plus years. Hip hop wasn't birthed out of a culture. It was birthed out of the African American experience and their struggles in the United States. That was the beauty of hip hop. That was what made hip hop in the early stage when hip hop was coming up. It was birthed out of the struggle, and then it moved into a cool trend, where it was trendy to hip hop showed us how to wear clothes differently, to wear it trendy. It made it cool. It taught people how to sing differently. That was a cool thing. To rap differently. That was cool. We all jive with it. And now he's morphed into something that is just very embarrassing. And no one wants to be part of it anymore. But nonetheless, hip hop gave us something that we'll all forever be proud of. And so it enjoyed 50 years. So unlike hip hop, which came out of a trend, came out of something that was the struggle of people and moved into a trendy thing, Afrobeat came from the culture of the people. So it's an expression of the Nigerian culture. It's an expression of the African culture. And so what we're not going to see with Afrobeat is the embarrassing type of display that we've seen with hip hop. We're not going to see that. And even while you might have a few artists wanting to dabble in that, it's not going to be the mainstream known of Afrobeat. And the audience and we who are listening to that are going to dictate to the artist what you're going to put out there. Because we're not going to jive. We're not going to stream it. We're not going to go to your concert. You're not going to be popular out here if you start putting out all this filth. You're not going to. Because that's not a representation of who we are as a culture. It means something for us when you behave properly in public. It means something. Every African, every Nigerian raise their kids, to be proper in society, to speak well, to behave well. You're not going to embarrass our name or who we are in public. And that's our culture. So no matter where we go and no matter how much we might not agree with certain things about our countries, whatever countries you come from, whether it is Nigeria, whether it is Zimbabwe, whether it's Ghana, whether it's Kenya, one thing that we all don't compromise is our culture. It's a pride of who we are. We carry that with our badge. It's a badge of honor. It is what makes us different from any other race. Is when you talk about the African people, no matter what part of the continent they come from, we all have this universal way of believing, which is that our cultures, no matter what country that is, go before us. It's a representation of who we are. So when we are pushing the Afrobeat culture, it's the Nigerian culture you're pushing out there. And so most of these artists they know this. They carry this around. They know this. They know that when it comes to that, they have to represent themselves as well as their people in a certain way because they know that that's not something that's going to jive and work. That is the difference between Afrobeat and hip hop. It comes from a culture. That's why it's going to enjoy a longer life cycle than what we're seeing with hip hop. I predict almost 100 years. The next thing that I believe is going to give Afrobeat the competitive edge, right, is the population growth. You see, Nigerians have been predicted by 2050. See, 2050 is a pivotal year that researchers and scientists and those who make projections have predicted that by 2050, a lot of things are going to happen by 2050. There's going to be political landscape shift by 2050. There's going to be cultural shift by 2050. Even here in the United States, there's this talk about the browning of America and how the U.S., the cultural representation in the U.S. is going to be different, vastly different from what you're seeing today by 2050. There's going to be an economic shift by 2050. There's going to be that power dynamic shift by 2050. 2050 is a pivotal year that people have studied and looked all the way outwards to determine that by 2050, we're going to see a difference in our civilization. So population growth is that one major thing that people looked at. So by 2050, Nigeria will be the third largest country behind China and India by 2050. So Nigeria will surpass the United States in population growth. So that's a major factor. And so if Nigerians are able to impact today, are able to cause this major impact into the world with their music, with their art, with what they represent in the educational sector, with what they represent in science, technology, math, what they represent in the business, if we're able to do that at 200 million, or before 200 million, because we've been doing this for a while, but let's just use the 200 plus million as it stands today. What do you think is going to happen when we double that in size or triple that by 2050? It's been projected by 2050, Nigeria will be around 400 and something thousand. I mean, a million, I should say, excuse me, in population. So what that is just going to double all the value add that we currently are known for today. So basically, for those of you in the room who might be asking, and I'm glad you're asking, so when they say 77% of black doctors in the United States are Nigerian, that's just going to increase that number because we're not all of a sudden going to stop being doctors. We're not all of a sudden going to stop pushing out great products in the medical field, whether they're doctors, whether they're pharmacists, whether they're nurses. These are areas that Nigerians dominate in the United States, in the West, as well as England and many other Western countries, as well as in Africa too. We're not going to stop pushing out engineers. You know, the association of engineers are not going to all of a sudden drop in numbers by 2050. It's just going to increase the value add. Nigerians are beginning to get known in technology, in tech worlds. One of the brilliant minds in the tech industry right now are known to be Nigerians. They're not going to all of a sudden stop because it's a cultural thing. It's a pride for us to be the best in what we can do, in what we do. It's just something that it's a thing that we are known for. And so when you look at Afrobeat is going to enjoy that long-lasting cycle because our population is going to grow, our value add in the world is going to extend, is going to grow. We're going to be more relevant than what we are today. And our culture is just going to be promoted much more than it is today. So those are the two things that are going to play a major role in our relevancy in the world, as well as the life cycle for Afrobeat. That is what is different here. And while we're doing that, we're pulling people in. See, Nigerians are not repellents. So Nigerians don't repel people. Nigerians are people that others want to be part of. You know, when you find the average Nigerians, this person has a lot of non-Nigerian friends. I've said it in many of my videos, I don't know too many people. I don't come across too many people, right? That when they hear that I'm Nigerian, they talk about how all of these people they know are Nigerians, and they know these Nigerians are the great people, best friends are Nigerians. That's what we're known for, and so we're an inclusive type of culture that bring people in, that pull people in, which is why we're repairing the black race image. I will say that again: we are repairing the image of the black race. So when you find those who have stayed away from black people because of their perception of black people, now speaking our language, right? Learning our language, wanting to be part of us, go to Africa to go have an experience in Africa is because of the Nigerian factor. It is because of our music. It is because of our culture. It is because they identify with a segment of the black race that really tries to push and put out things that are positive, things that are good, and they're doing it regardless of what people think about them. Let me speak about what people think about us for a second. You're going to start finding, if you haven't already noticed, I for one have started noticing that, but you're going to find that very shortly, that the mainstream media, those that have put out filth about us, who know this and know the impact the Nigerians are making today and the impact they will make in the future, they're going to lay off of those nonsense propaganda that you're saying, because it's going to affect their pocket. Because people know that Nigerians are going to be third largest. That's a fact. They already know that. That's a projection. That's a fact. And so the common sense person, someone with an intelligence would say, hold on, if these people who are 200 million plus right now are able to impact the world the way it is, what would happen when they're like double in size? I need to shift my strategy about what I say about these people. So you're finding that mainstream media right now becoming very balanced in the analysis about Nigerians. They're not just going to the extreme of the negative extreme anymore. They're not doing it anymore because it's going to affect who they are. It's going to affect their brand. Because one of their largest audience when it comes to black, the only largest audience they're probably going to have when it comes to black are going to be Nigerians. Because of the population size. And Nigerians are going to be represented in many parts of the world. So you're going to be offending these people? No. So they're not going to do it. They're going to tiptoe around those coverage and they're going to put out more positive things about who we are. And they're going to switch that whole thing. Where rather than put out the filth that they've been pulling out and being one-sided in their reporting, they're going to be more objective about it now. And that's a great thing. Because even while Nigerians are great, Nigerians have things they can work on. Nigerians have their own opportunities they can correct. So we're not all perfect in all of this thing. Okay? But we're not what the world says we are. We're not this terrible thing. No. Because the reason why the black race is enjoying the music elements and the music culture is mostly because of Nigerians. The reason why a lot of employers hire us is because we come with such value and intelligence. They're not just giving it to us because they want to be seen as helping black people. No, they're not doing that. They're doing it because we bring such value and we change the game when we come into any company, any place that we're seen in. So if we're already impacting the world at this level, imagine what we'll do when we double in size. So many of these mainstream media are going to stay away from all of that rhetoric. And you're going to start finding that Nigerians are highly coveted. I mean, we're seeing it now with the likes of Netflix, Amazon Prime. You know, even Hulu is jumping into something. Meta, I told you Meta. When Meta is starting to jump into the whole streaming thing. And their first streaming movie is a Nigerian movie. You know, and that's what people who know and have done the numbers and people who want to stay relevant and want to make sure that they can compete economically out here. They're not going to be out here offending Nigerians. That's going to be done. You might find that from the internet people, bottom feeders, people that don't really matter. Nobody cares what they have to say. But mainstream are going to begin uplifting Nigerians and are going to begin defending Nigerians and covering Nigerians differently from what you've seen covered in the mainstream media. And that is a good thing. Because what that says is that we changed our image and we forced the world to look at us differently. We didn't do it by putting a gun in anyone's head. We didn't do it by threatening anyone's life. We basically moved our culture forward. We took all the insults, we moved our culture forward, and we forced the world to see who we truly are and not what a few people have said about us. And that's the best way. That's how you convert people over. Is you got to do it in your actions, in your deed, and not in what you say. It has to reflect in your numbers. That's to reflect in your numbers, because you can say whatever you want to say, but if the numbers are not adding up, no one cares what you're talking about here. It has to reflect in the numbers, and the numbers is that when you look at Nigerians and what we've done and what we're bringing, the values that we're bringing, whether it's at the job, whether it's education wise. I mean, you want to argue with the number of degrees that Nigerians have compared to many other. Come on, man. What is the number of values that we're bringing in the industries that we're in? The intelligence that we bring. I told you the other day that in London, they found out that the smartest family in the entire country were Nigerian families. The smartest family, the Ifadan family in London, known to be the smartest in the entire country. Right? So when people are seeing this type of thing about Nigerians, we've changed our trajectory. We've changed who we are. And so the future is great for every Nigerian. If you're a Nigerian today, I'm telling you, and I think that many Nigerians are starting to realize this, even the ones that stayed away because they were ashamed because of all the negativity that was coming to us, they've all now embraced it, and I like to see that. I like to see Nigerians now embracing who they are, because you shouldn't have to be ashamed of who you are. See, when the Creator created you and planted you in that country, or planted you with Nigerian parents, you ought to be very grateful, right? And I understand that the negativity caused a lot of you to really hide from that. But I'm glad to see that many of you now are embracing your Nigerian roots. And you're going to find many others are going to start doing it. You're going to find people that are not Nigerian saying that they're Nigerians. We've seen that already. That's all good. But you who are Nigerian, who are born to Nigerian parents, you ought to be proud, because the future for you is bright. They're going to be coveting you. You're going to be the person people are going to be looking at. Your culture is what people are jiving to. You're the reason why people want to be part of the Black experience. Let me read some, and I'll close real quickly. Let me read some coverage on Afrobeat real quickly and what people are saying. So you don't take my word for it. Just let me read some coverage here. So here's what people are saying about the future of Afrobeat. So Rolling Stone says that Afrobeat is making the world listen. Your culture did that. Let's see here. You have LA Times say that many people are going to Africa now for a true Afrobeat experience. Your culture, your Nigerian culture, the people which you are part of did this. Yahoo Financial says that the future of global music is African. Your culture, your people did this. You have even CNN talking about the greatness in Afrobeats. And it's on and on and on. Look at Red Bull says that the story behind the West African booming Afrobeat music experts. Your culture did this. This is what your people are doing. And I think that it's important for you to know this. And I'm glad that many now are adopting and embracing the Nigerian culture. Don't listen to, naysayers, people that just hate, because the natural thing about human beings is that people are jealous of those that are great. Your light is shining so brightly. I want you to listen to this young man real quickly, and I'll close, who seems to have a problem with our light shining so brightly. And he's from Uganda. Take a listen to this.
Nigerians, it is high time you give us some breathing space. You need to give us some breathing space. You have occupied the whole music industry. You have us on chokehold. We can't breathe. Someone may think the whole music industry is composed of Nigeria. Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Fireboy, Joe Boy, Mavins. Tiwa Savage, we cannot breathe, my friend. Then there are these new artists who have come from nowhere, I don't even understand. Simanya Sake, Sei Vibes, Charlie Pop, call me Charlie Pop. Please, I beg, take it slow.
Oh boy, I tell you, we can't win for losing. When we don't do anything, they say we're not doing anything. Now we're doing something. Our light is shining so brightly. They want us to stop. I mean, kilo a day. What? Excuse me for every one of you. My Yoruba is a little rusty, but what's the problem here? The guy is asking us to just calm it down. That the music industry is known to be Nigerians. Yes. No, we're not going to calm down. We're going to keep letting our light shine, because these same ones who are thinking that our light is shining so brightly were the ones that were so happy to see people disparage us. And now that we've just embraced our greatness and we're moving our greatness forward, they want us to not calm it down. No, we're not going to calm it down. And now every Nigerian out there, I want you to keep pushing forward. And I want you to remember every person that's ever said something disparaging about you and your people. I want you to think about the negative propaganda that was put out there against you and your people. So when you're moving into your greatness, think about that and never move aside for anyone. Push through and have that light shine so brightly. It is their problem. If they don't like it, they can go and crawl under a rock somewhere. Because these people, when they were pushing out filth, they didn't step aside or take it easy when they were doing this. They did it gladly. And now that our light is shining so brightly, you need to do it so gladly. Don't step aside for nobody. Shine so brightly that those who hate us can do nothing but go hide under a rock. And that's where we want them to go be at. So we're not going to stop. Let your greatness continue to move forward because you're a Nigerian. It is something, and I want to tell you this real quickly. It is something when the good Lord gave birth to you and planted you in that country. It is something when the good Lord planted you into a Nigerian, to come from Nigerian parents. You ought to understand this. Greatness is in you. This is what I tell my kids. And now that we are embracing this, it's a beautiful thing. Because what it says is that you're going to be relevant in the future. You're relevant now. You're going to maintain relevancy and even be better in the future. No one is going to avoid you. When they hear that you're Nigerian, they're going to want to do business with you. They're going to want to partner with you because the image and what we're putting out there and what people know Nigerians are known for is such a value that you are going to be a good investment to any investor. And that is what we've done. That is what your people have done. So walk in it. Thank your parents if you come from Nigerian parents. And if you're a Nigerian, thank the Lord that you were born in Nigerian. Because out of the whole black race that we have right now, the one that's going to be relevant of any other black race are going to be your people, Nigerian people, because you're driving the African continent and you're driving the black race forward. So stay true and stay loyal and stay strong in your Nigerianness. And keep it moving. All right, thank you all for watching this video. Please share the content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all.
Det finns ingen annan där som kan stå här by my side, oh hi. Sättet du rör på det får mig att dö för det baby. För de här yardis, de vill ju bara dra ner oss. Men du är fett och vanlig. Och det jag lägger av min tid, jag vill ha det. Men för mig känna safety. Jag kan nog leda baby. Och jag kommer aldrig ändra mig.